Ethan Carter had learned long ago that life rarely gave second chances. At 35, he was raising his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, alone after losing his wife, Emma, to cancer 5 years earlier. Every morning began before sunrise. He packed Lily's lunch, braided her hair, though he was never very good at it, and walked her to the school bus before rushing to work. Money was always tight. Every paycheck disappeared into rent, groceries, school supplies, and medical bills left over from Emma's treatment. There was never enough left for himself. Still, Ethan never complained. He believed that dignity came from showing up, even when life felt unfair. That belief was why he worked 12-hour days as a maintenance supervisor at Ashford Technologies, one of the city's fastest-growing companies. Most employees never noticed him. He fixed broken lights, repaired office furniture, unclogged sinks, and quietly solved problems before anyone else realized they existed. The company's CEO, Victoria Ashford, was different. She was known as brilliant, demanding, and almost impossible to impress. Employees whispered that she remembered every mistake anyone had ever made. Some even called her the Ice Queen. Ethan had only seen her from a distance. She always walked through headquarters with confidence, surrounded by executives carrying tablets and schedules. To him, she seemed like someone from another world. One rainy Thursday evening, nearly everyone had gone home. A leaking pipe had flooded part of the executive floor, and Ethan had been asked to repair it immediately before morning meetings. He grabbed his toolbox and followed the maintenance report. The hallway was unusually quiet. Most office lights had already been turned off. He checked the room number one more time. Executive Conference Suite. The work order said the leak was inside. Without thinking, Ethan knocked lightly. No answer. Assuming the room was empty, he unlocked the door with the maintenance key. The moment he stepped inside, he froze. Victoria Ashford stood near a side office, changing out of her rain-soaked blazer after spilling coffee on herself during a late meeting. She had already slipped into a fresh blouse but hadn't finished buttoning it. Both of them stared at each other in complete shock. "Oh my goodness," Victoria gasped. Ethan instantly turned around. "I'm so sorry, Ms. Ashford. I thought the room was empty." He squeezed his eyes shut. "I'll leave immediately." His face burned with embarrassment. Victoria quickly grabbed her jacket. "You can turn around now." Ethan kept looking toward the floor. "I truly apologize. I knocked first." "I know," she replied quietly. "I didn't hear you." There was an awkward silence. "I'll report myself to Human Resources if necessary," Ethan said. Victoria blinked. "You, what?" "I understand this was inappropriate, even though it was accidental." She looked at him carefully. Most people would have tried making excuses. Others might have stared. Some would even have laughed nervously. Ethan had done none of those things. He respected her privacy without hesitation. For the first time, Victoria noticed something unusual about the maintenance supervisor. Integrity. "It's fine," she finally said. "It was clearly an accident." Relieved but still embarrassed, Ethan nodded. "I'll repair the leak and be out of your way." As he worked beneath the sink, Victoria finished organizing some documents nearby. The silence felt strangely comfortable. "So," she finally asked, "you're Ethan Carter?" He looked surprised. "You know my name. I try to know everyone who works here." He smiled politely. "I didn't expect that." She noticed the old wedding ring still hanging from a chain around his neck. "You wear your ring." He gently touched it. "My wife passed away." Victoria's expression softened immediately. "I'm sorry." "Thank you." Neither of them spoke for several minutes. Eventually, Ethan repaired the broken pipe. Everything should be working now. As he packed his tools, his phone buzzed. The screen lit up. Lily calling. He answered immediately. "Hey, sweetheart. Daddy, did you remember tomorrow is family day at school?" His smile grew instantly. "Of course I remembered. You promise you'll come." "I wouldn't miss it for the world." Victoria couldn't help overhearing. "You still at work?" Lily asked. "Just finishing. Don't forget my science project." "I already packed it." "I love you. I love you more." After hanging up, Ethan slipped the phone back into his pocket. Victoria noticed the exhaustion in his eyes. "You have a daughter." "She's my whole world." "How old?" 8. "You must be busy." He laughed softly. "Busy doesn't even begin to describe it." For reasons she couldn't explain, Victoria smiled. It had been years since she'd spoken to someone who talked about family with such warmth. Most conversations in her world revolved around profits, acquisitions, and stock prices. Ethan spoke about his daughter as though nothing else mattered. Before leaving, he paused. Again, I'm deeply sorry for walking in. Victoria surprised herself by smiling. I believe you. He nodded gratefully and left. She watched the door close. Then she looked around the empty room. Most people in powerful positions became experts at reading character. Over the years, she'd met politicians, celebrities, billionaires, and industry leaders. Few had impressed her. Yet somehow, the quiet maintenance supervisor had. The next morning, Ethan attended Lily's family day. Parents filled the classroom. Some arrived in expensive suits. Others brought gifts and decorations. Ethan arrived wearing his faded work jacket because he had come straight from the overnight repair shift. Lily didn't care. She ran into his arms. You came. I promised. As they worked together on her volcano project, Ethan noticed another child sitting alone. No parent had shown up. Without hesitation, he invited the boy to join them. Lily smiled. We can all make one together. Across the room, a woman standing near the doorway quietly watched the scene. She wore sunglasses and a baseball cap. It was Victoria. She had been visiting the school to announce a scholarship program sponsored by Ashford Technologies. Instead, she found herself watching her employee spend his entire morning making sure another lonely child didn't feel left out. She stood silently. Then she whispered to herself. Who exactly are you, Ethan Carter? She had no idea that the answer to that question was about to change both of their lives forever.